like button.
Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. GM. Let's see here. We are still streaming. The live stream, the video is still going, but something fucking happened. And Twitter, it will always be Twitter, and it shut the space down immediately. So we're going to have to get a new one of those going. So make sure while I do that, you guys smash the freaking like button. We are back. Web3 Breakfast is back. We got a whole lot of things that are going to be coming new. Next week, I'm in New York the entire week. I leave Monday, and I'll be back on Saturday. So we're back for today's show. And then we got a lot of things with the media company that I'm going to be doing in New York City next week. So stay tuned with all of that. Let's get a live space going. And we want to go crypto, NFTs, and obviously, y'all know what today is. It's pizza day because it is Friday, and every Friday, look, I got the pizza shirt, I got the pizza mug. There we go. All right, so we got cryptocurrencies, we got NFTs, and we got mindful wellness. We're going to start that space right now. So if you guys do feel like joining the space, please make sure to tap in. That's going live right now. Let me send that on over to boom. There we go. All right, so the space will be up and running in just a second here, guys. So if you want to join that, please. And I'm going to have to go to the new space now. So let's just go back to here, guys. I appreciate you being here. Look at this. For Father's Day and my birthday this year, as you guys know, I'm always getting brand new art from my daughter on my walls here in the office. But these are the new ones. We got a pink one and a blue one. I got to hang them up here pretty soon. But I just want to let you guys know we got some new things coming to the office here pretty quick. So, all right, the new space is up and running. Let me make sure that we post that sucker out. All right, here we go. Let's hit the purple pill. Let's get this thing going. Repost it out. Come join us. My Twitter's acting so crazy today. All right. Make sure you guys come on up to the stage. If you want to chat with us, if you want to be a part of today's show, and you're sitting there watching the stream, you're like, oh, shit, there's a space going too. You know it. Tap in, baby. We have got this thing rolling right here. All right, let's go. Let's zoom that in on up there. And let's close that, share this space. Man, I'll tell you what, it's always obnoxious when Twitter decides to rug a space for you, or X, whatever, right as you're going live. Making things fun, right? Keeping us on our toes. I see my guy, Carrie, come on up here. Let's see. D-Dish, my guy in the crowd. I just so you guys know, if you were part of the Lazy Apes, the Lao is a collection that we've been there's a lot of us in this community that have been a part of for quite some time. But I did my transformation to the Reversos. So check that out, guys. If that's a collection that you are a part of. Remember, we're talking about crypto, we're talking about NFTs, and of course, pizza today. So come on up to the stage. Tag or go down to the bottom right, hit the purple pill, tag some friends, bring them in here, get up to the stage. Let's talk, because I'm telling you what, I feel like if you look at these charts, man, we can talk about crypto first if you want. But I feel like if we look at these charts, we are on some freaking borrowed time for some pumpage. Obviously, we saw a market-wide correction last week. It is definitely over this last week. I mean, and the news is just bullish. You know, we've been talking about this for a while now, this bullish divergence that's playing out with crypto. You literally can't get any better than the fucking news that's coming out day after day after day after day. But yet the price keeps sliding. Why? And we talk about that, but I'm sure it's got something to do with some manipulation somewhere. These whales, man. Come on. GM, fellas. I know, Carrie, you were the first one up here, brother. What is up, my guy? I gotta get some coffee, perfectly honest. So I'm gonna go work on that. Let's is Mike up here? Let's see. Yeah, we got Mike up. Let's pass it over to Mike for a second so I can go get a coffee and
and sober up here, because I feel like you are like on a totally different level than I am.
Oh, I just freaking missed you guys so much. I am zooted and booted and ready to do this. I missed you guys so freaking much. It's been obviously, you know, trying to launch the media company, bring in some revenue, doing these. You know that I love doing the show. However, when it doesn't pay the bills, you got to find some other ways to do that. So launching this media company, I'm very hopeful that, you know, we're going to start crushing it pretty soon. I've had so many good conversations, linking up with event organizers, conference organizers, projects, plans, all sorts of stuff. And things are moving. Obviously, things never move as fast as you want them to. But I will tell you, I've got a renewed sense of excitement and adventure, and I'm freaking ready to go, man. So I'm gonna be in New York all week next week. I have been reaching out to people, trying to book some business, reaching out to the event organizers, all sorts of stuff. And so I'm excited to get out there. So Mike, you're gonna be out there, aren't you? Mike. Modern Canadian. Can you hear me, sir? Maybe he is busy at work. But in the interim, I see my guy Hash coming up here. What's up, Hash? Uh-oh. What's going on now? Nobody can hear me? I'm not on mute. My phone is not muted. What the heck is happening? I am not on. Can you guys hear me? Like, what is happening? This is crazy. Yeah, that's wild. Okay. I mean, I'm connected to the road. D-Dish coming back up. I got Mike coming back up. Ash coming back up. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Well, not with this. You can hear me on. What's up, guys? Okay.
I don't know. That's weird.
This is absolutely
all of a sudden you lose your voice.
nutty.
You're back.
What the fuck? Twitter. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I think Elon's trying to hold me down, hold me back.
I thought I really missed Jay the most of all, but I think it's really the roadcaster that I missed.
No, I am probably going to run this thing over. Like, I'm gonna go find some road construction where they have one of those smashers that smashes the pavement, the blacktop, and I'm just a
real roadmaster.
I'm gonna just have it embedded into a street somewhere.
So there's this like back in the day, there's just people that used to get like the newest like consoles that would come out, right? So they get all these people to donate to them to get the new console. They wait in line, and then while everybody's waiting in line, they would just fucking smash it. So like we should just like have like a fundraiser for you to get a new roadie. We'll all donate, so you have, you know, you can cover yourself for a new roadie, and you just make a video just smashing the shit out of that fucking thing.
Can we recreate the scene from Office Space when they smash the printer, but you can smash the roadie instead?
Yeah,
and we can, you know.
I was just gonna say we should
be a gangster.
We got to play that song "Still" in the background. Still, motherfucker, still.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. So this is actually one of my earlier business ideas. And obviously, because it's an earlier business idea, it was a clear ripoff of the Office Space thing. But it was, this was, I mean, I got to tell you, this was back when I had a flip phone. This was my idea. It was called obliteratemytech.com. And basically what you would do is you would pay some money, and which I think the business model was a little flawed. That's why it was never going to work. But, you know, you like, basically hash, you've got this roadcaster and you need to have this thing obliterated. Well, you would spend, you know, you would package it up, spend a little money to ship it on up to me. And then from there, I, you know, however we decide, whether it's with C4, dropping it, throwing it off of a skyscraper, whatever, you know, melted in acid, whatever it ends up being, obliteratemytech.com was one of my first business ideas, but never got off the ground. Yes, Ash.
I love it personally, and I think rage rooms are basically just doing what you're doing, but you're making it personalized. And I think that there's a business model here that works. You know, like, do you remember Does It Blend? Do you remember those videos?
Vaguely.
Very popular, right? You just send me stuff and I'll blend it for you, and then we'll just put it out there. But this, we could just we could get the crew together at a rage room, bring our own stuff, and then blow stuff up with like cherry bombs.
Okay, so I've definitely got to take the road to a rage
cherry bombs, dude. Screw the rage room though. Take it out to the goddamn desert and use what you've got. You've got access to C4. We don't have that shit in Canada. Get yourself some C4. Go out to the fucking middle of Nevada and blow that shit to smithereens. I'm telling you, or some thermite. Get your hands on some good old homemade thermite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like this. I like where we're going. I'll probably, for the sake of not having to go out to Vegas and in the desert and do all that, you know, I live in Georgia. I live in the South. You know, we've got some spots where you can, you know, shoot some heavy artillery, and maybe I will
blow shit up. You'd think in Canada we would, but
no, that's crazy. It's been a while actually since I pulled out the AK-47. It might be time to load up a couple of banana clips on that thing and just unload on this road. It might be time.
100. Dude, I think somewhere Chris just got an erection.
Talking about the AK-47. It's actually, and it's I gotta have to take a look. It's either like a Bosnian or some other like straight up OG old school. I got this from some old dude in Texas when I lived there. So it's probably like game used. You know?
Did you say gang used?
Not
oh my
game.
God.
Yeah, you know, like a game worn jersey. It's a game.
Oh, game used. Okay, game.
A game. Yeah, no, not GANG, not a gang used. No, game like a game worn jersey.
Gang.
What's up now? Man, it's so good to be back chatting with you guys. How are we feeling about the markets?
I'm feeling good. The markets? I was just looking at. I was looking at it. I'm like bearish. When I look at the weekly, I don't feel super nice about the weekly. But the other time frames look pretty good. So maybe we pump before we have a dump. I don't know. It's been kind of weird. But I've been swing trading this volatility right now.
Nice. I will tell you, like someone, it was the Altcoin Daily guys. I think they had posted the weekly chart on Bitcoin, and it just, to me, maybe it's not the weekly. Is it there's one chart that when you look at just looks like terrible things are getting ready to happen, like a nice little correction. Maybe is it the monthly? No, monthly doesn't look terrible. Monthly looks like we're ready to go up. Let's see here. Is it the 2-day? Man, I just know that you just really can't get any better with the news. Like what would be stopping this thing from just absolutely ripping, going nuclear, and just taking us all to the moon? What is stopping us?
Inflation, monetary policy, 2 pretty large wars, Trump tariff talks, people hate Ethereum. I mean, I could go on.
very, very valid and good points. But like you're also seeing in the headlines, this country bought you know, 100,000 Bitcoin or $1 billion in Bitcoin. And then these sailors buying more. These guys are trying to be like strategy. These guys are trying like you've never seen buys as big as what's happening. Yet you're seeing that, like, I know we're hanging tight at like over 100,000, which is great. But you're seeing some people call for like into the 90s. Do we think that we're going to break 100 and go down there for any kind of extended period of time? Because I could see it, unfortunately.
Same.
Wait, you could see us breaking under 100,000 for a long
yeah.
time. Did you just say?
Oh yeah.
How long? Like how long a time are we talking here?
Okay, let me see here. This was.
I don't see.
Now I remember it's if you look at the 6-month chart, right? If you look at the 6-month Bitcoin chart, it's not the 6-month.
Okay.
What fucking chart is this? 3-month. If you look at the 3-month chart, and I know that's kind of a weird time frame, but you know, if you look at it, like, I feel like we're probably due for another correction at some point, just because of how that chart works and how those candles operate on that time frame. Now, that doesn't exactly mean that that's what's going to happen, but you know, you just look at that stuff, and again, I'm super bullish. I don't want you guys to misconstrue anything that I'm saying with any of this. Like, I'm a mega bull. I think that we are just getting started as far as crypto goes. But do you think that before, and I know that we've gone through some shit, and since December it's gone down, but do you think the powers that be, and you all know that there are the powers that be, are going to let us all get rich? Or do you think they're going to try one more major nuke? Because in all of this, like, we haven't seen a 10K day in a 10K candle in a day in a long time. We haven't seen that. And this is when Bitcoin was in 50s, 60s. Like, we would see those 10K candles. We're at over $100,000, which means in my opinion, we should see a $15,000 to $20,000 candle day at some point. When we see that, I believe is when things are really starting to we'll get to the party. We're almost at 65% Bitcoin dominance. That is the let me see. Let's go to I'm gonna go the daily on this, because I think we're getting pretty darn near close to the highest that it's been. You got all these indicators that cover up what I got going on here. I'm gonna leapfrog off. So recently, you know, we hit a 65.27 on the Bitcoin dominance, but you know, we're inching back up. You know, we did a nice little drop, but coming back up, I still believe that we have to see a 70% dominant, 70 to 71% in that range, and then drop down before we see altcoins run. It's happened several times in history. Every time we get an altcoin run, that's you know, that precipitates the altcoin. The altcoin season, SZN, if you will. Mike, let's go Mike and then Hash.
Yeah, so what I've been working on is on a daily, Bitcoin is in a big symmetrical triangle, and those mostly break to the downside. So that's where I think if we lose the 104.5 support in the weekly, that we can probably go down to that like next level of 103 and then 98. And then, you know, fulfill what you were talking about being under 100K. So I think that could play out. And then maybe like end of the summer, like August, that's kind of when we have the big rip. So the upside.
We're getting data. We're 11 days away from quarter three. Quarter three was supposed to be when the fireworks started, and we're getting pretty darn close to that. So I like the idea of, you know, August. Sure, let's go for it. Hatch, what you got, my guy?
So I feel like crypto, especially in this space with permabull JChains, it's almost like that scene from Eurotrip where he watched a gay porno once and like the girls just never came. I feel like we're always waiting for the party. It's like, yo, the party next month, but it's always next month. Like I remember January 2022, and everyone was like, yeah, this dip, but then after this, we are gonna rip so many faces off, and like I feel like if Bitcoin was at 900,000, we'd still be having this conversation being like, yeah, but we're about to rip. So like, just pack your bags and we're all going to get rich tomorrow. And then tomorrow just never comes. But if you wait 10 years, that's the thing. It's a time horizon. Just be in the game long enough. Just like the stock market, be in the game long enough, and you'll be okay.
Do you feel like the explosive runs, the crazy volatility? Again, go back to the 20K candles, all that stuff. Do you feel like we're that's gone. We're just, there's not going to be as much volatility. It's just going to be slow, steady, up and to the right. Nothing crazy. It's just, kill people with the long game.
I think as institutions and larger players get, specifically with Bitcoin, I think you're going to see less volatility, right? Like that makes sense. Like the more mature a market becomes, the less volatile over time. Now, it's still going to be volatile, but like if we're thinking percentage wise, like that's because like I hear you're like, like at this rate, we should have like a 15,000 candle. At 250, are we expecting there to be $35,000 candle days? Like I'm not. I'm just not. I think there'll still be, 1, 2, 5% days, but like I don't know that we're going to see 10% candle days. Maybe still now, but as we mature as a cryptocurrency ecosystem, like there just isn't as much volatility because less coins are in circulation. Market makers are going to be regulated in the next 10 years, let's call it. And so it's going to go down. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we rip to 125, and I wouldn't be surprised if we rip to 85.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we gotta party a little bit. And it's so crazy to say this, and we've been saying this now, I feel like for quite some time with Bitcoin over $100,000. It's not exciting. Like nothing is exciting about crypto. Again, I will reiterate the headline, the news, the narrative, all that stuff is super exciting. But when you look at price action, like it is not exciting. You would think a couple years ago, like, holy shit, Bitcoin's 108,000 or it's 105,000. Holy Christ, that's amazing. Like, we've made it, man. That's technically we've made it now. Like, I've been going to these conferences, talking to people. We look at the mass adoption. We look at what's happening and how we've gone. You guys will hear me say this. This may be one of the last times. I'm getting sick of saying it myself. And I've, editing all the videos over the last several weeks, talking about Bitcoin going from a movement to the industry to the financial ecosystem of the globe. It's kind of like, it's crazy to think that here we are, we did it. We made it. Wag me, baby. But at $105,000, like I'm not excited. And I feel like other people feel the same way. Harry?
Well, the funny thing is, though, it is, we do have kind of a reason to be. Normies are getting excited right now, right? So if normies are getting excited,
this
like
is very true.
Us, I have a friend who, I have a big screen on my wall that constantly has the 10-minute and fucking 1 second or 10-second chart on it. And my buddy comes over and he looks at it, and like a couple months back, it was like, it was under 100,000. And then he comes back over and he's like, "Is that say 110,000 right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, well, so that means if I had, and I'm like, "Dude, don't go there. Don't even fucking start, because you're going to drive yourself fucking insane, just like the rest of us. Don't do what ifs. Just, if you're going to fucking continue to come over and stare at this wall, then you're going to have to like fucking invest in some Bitcoin eventually at some price."
That's so easy now. It's just so, like, it's just.
Well, I'm saying if it has to say it's going to rip down to like do a massive run down to like, which massive run's hilarious anyways, or down to 80K, then I want to buy then, not now, right? Like, and I want to tell my friends, I want to seem like the super genius and tell my friends, buy at 80K when it goes down to 80K. When do we think that this is going to happen?
It's interesting. Now that I'm remembering this, and so I got to look it up. It was Altcoin Daily who had posted this picture the other day. It was the Bitcoin chart, and my comment was like, literally looks like we could, like, just based on the structure of the candles and what I'm looking at, $50,000 is like almost a market, like it's going to happen. I know that sounds crazy, and you guys would be like, "Dude, quit smoking crack." But I'm telling you, if you look at that chart, I'd have to find this. I know these motherfuckers tweet so many times a day. It's going to take me a second to scroll down and find this. And while I do that, I would like to hand the mic over to Mike, the Modern Canadian.
Yo, so honestly, what I'm super excited for is that Genius bill, because I look at the Genius bill and the stablecoin bill as one huge fucking on-ramp. Once they start to get the framework for banks and pensions start allocating like just like 1% of their portfolios to crypto or just Bitcoin, like that's where I've always been. I've always been waiting for that moment, and I see the path with like stable coins being accepted into the the ecosystem here. So I think that's where you're going to get that S curve. I really do believe we're going to have an S curve around the next bull cycle.
In the 2028 and beyond cycle? What if it never happens, Mike? What if we've just hit the super cycle status and we're going to go on like, you know, a long run here?
Yeah, everything's possible, but like what I just saying more so before it was like a pipe dream, and now I see a path forward for that to be a reality.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. All right. So if you guys are watching the stream, I did pull this tweet from the Altcoin Daily guys, and if you look at that chart specifically, if you look at the candle structure, we had a nice little run up, and then a red candle to bring it down, nice little correction, and then again a nice little run up, and then a nice little red candle to bring it back down. Remember, red candles are healthy. They can be extremely healthy to the market. And then if you look at the last three, and what I see, I don't know what the time frame is. They don't have the time frame on this chart. They just have the price on the right if you look at that. But going off of this, I mean, you could see a correction like we've seen in those last two red ones bring this thing back down to 50,000. Very, very clearly could happen. Again, don't get mad at me for saying that. It's just an observation that I've made. Yes, Ash.
I posted the tweet. I believe the time frame is 1 year. Don't quote me on that, but that's what it looks like to me. And if you're bearish, does that mean I have to be? I think we're going to 250, bro.
We're
just gonna skyrocket for me.
I'm all about it, but I feel like we're due for a little red ski there. Now, granted, the time has never been better in crypto, and so just because it looks like we could drop down there doesn't mean that we're going to. Again, I don't anticipate that happening, but it's just something to think about. And we always want to take a pragmatic approach to everything that we do in crypto, and just take a look at things, right? And so I don't expect it, but if it were to happen, I would say I fucking told you so.
See, I think you're right in where it could go to 50K, but when you're looking at the yearly chart, it could take a very long time for that to actually play out. So maybe you're looking at where it could go in the bear market.
That's a good point. Like maybe the rest of whatever candle we're on right now, obviously is 2025. And so we've got another half of the year left on that. So another 6 months of activity, and that could be 6 months of straight green, right? That candle could explode way up past 225. 330 is like the number that it's been stuck in my brain for a long time for the bull run. For peak, if everything goes right, I like 330. That's my number. And that's, all of these things are within reason. And then, come back down correct after the bull run. That could be what it is. But, just always thinking in the mind, manipulation. You think there's gonna be a reckoning somewhere, because people are not supposed to be getting rich. It's the haves and the have-nots, and the haves are trying to keep the have-nots from becoming a have. Yes, Ash. And you don't have to raise your hand. You're such a gentleman.
I've been out of the game for so long.
We all have. Just go with it next time.
All right, I'll double Dutch it in. So Carrie, to your point, put in a buy order at 50,000. Put in a buy order at 80,000. If you have some money in your spot account, that's what I do. And that way you do look like a genius, because when it drops down there, you don't even have to think about it. It just buys it for you. If you are lucky enough to have some money in your spot account. Same on the other side, right? Like if you have a price target that you're like, hey, like when Bitcoin hits 330,000, I'm expecting a massive correction, like maybe take some profits there. Normies, I feel the opposite. I feel like people in my life that know I'm in crypto ask about it and get kind of excited. But like I put up Elio Trade's tweet in the nest. I think he's more right. We're in like a weird social bear market, right? It's like Bitcoin's over 100,000, timeline is super quiet, YouTube videos are super quiet. We haven't seen like a new huge influencer of this cycle come out. Like, where's the fucking anthem of post halvening? I took
a break. I took a break for the last 2 weeks. Give me a break before things get hot and heavy and I become that guy for you. I just needed to take a little bit of a mental break. That's all. But we're ready. We're ready to kick back it up. Let's go. Jokes aside, I hear you.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
No, let's fucking go. But yeah, I think sentiment is like super down right now. And I think it comes from hyper gambling. Like I think a lot of people, despite saying the right things, did the wrong things again. And you know, they knew better this time, and like that's a really tough pill to swallow. And so I think you're seeing a lot of burnout happening from like crypto native folks.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think we've had that replenishing that we've all been expecting. And my real concern is what happens when we get to the end of this halving cycle and we get to the end of 2025 and maybe we're at 250 or maybe we're at 80. What do people think then? Because everybody right now is like still kind of like, yeah, I know it hasn't been as good as we thought it would be, but just wait for the end of 2025. That's when things are ripped. Look at 2021.
Mm-hmm.
If that does repeat, what does that look like? Like, is the sentiment going to be JChains like, yo, it's super cycle, we're never going back down? That was the sentiment in 2021. I remember people at 70,000 being like, yo, we're on the march to 100. And that 100 never happened. Or in the opposite, if we are below 100,000 at the end of 2025, are people giving up? Are people like, this is what I was waiting for, this was my last ditch, I was expecting by the end of this year that I'd, you know, be in profit, and I'm not. Maybe they got into crypto at 90,000. Are we gonna, like, what does that ebb and flow look like in 6 months? Because we're getting to the end of that 18-month period after the halving, where traditionally, and granted, maybe there is a super cycle, but traditionally, like, we're kind of getting to the end of the good times, you know, like the feast is almost over and the famine is around the corner historically.
I mean, it's a really good point, and I feel like the situations, you think about that, right? All different scenarios of how this plays out. You think about them, you prepare for them. I mean, I love the idea of, you know, this could be it. This could be the bull run of all bull runs, as we've been talking about for years. But then also, one of the other things that a lot of people have been saying is that, and Hash, you hit on this earlier, is that, you know, the volatility, as the ecosystem matures, the volatility should shrink and we become a little bit more kind of analogous to the stock market, right? And you think the jokes that we make about, you know, the stock bros, and you're into the stonks and you get a 3 to 5% pop, and like that's a good year for you. You know, that may be where we are headed in short order. But I think, you know, I think we're good for another massive run. But you know, every situation, every scenario, no matter how you slice it and dice it, you take a pragmatic approach. You take it to look. You got to look at, you know, weigh both options and see, like, you know, what's it for you, and the long-term goal. You know, like one of the other things that you talked about there, like maybe it is time to just put yourself on the 5-year plan versus, you know, and most people should be on the 2-cycle plan. I think, you know, most, myself included, kind of got wrecked this cycle. You know, I did not think December was it, right? I did not think December was going to be the peak. I thought we were going to have an explosive early 2026, like a lot of people did. We all got caught with our pants down. Some people sold. I know people in this room, people in our community, they played their fundamentals, they played their strategy, they hung to it, and they did it right. They got their profits and they pulled it. But a lot of us, we were expecting more. And it's just we were early. That's all. Carrie, my guy. Is Carrie caffeinated now?
Yo, am I rugging? Or are you rugging? What's going on here?
I can hear you.
I think I might be rugging.
I think it's you, Carrie.
Can you? Okay. Well, I just was gonna say, oh wait, you can't hear me?
Yes, I can.
I don't get it. Oh, okay. So yeah, what I see is Bitcoin like decoupling from like world, like massive world events. Like if there was a threat of a nuclear war like 4 years ago, Bitcoin would have fucking dropped to fucking 30K so goddamn fast, right? And like what happened now? We're stuck above 100 still, right? And we're in the grips of possible nuclear war. Like I don't know how much worse like it could get in a like you know what I'm saying, in a worldwide situation, sort of a situation. But this is like this sort of black swan event that I would expect to crash stock markets and shit, and it hasn't done that to Bitcoin, right? So like does that mean Bitcoin is becoming like a stronger asset, that it's becoming resilient to the to world like events like war, or is this just a coincidence?
Isn't that the whole like the point behind it, is that it's how do we say this? I don't want to say this is the people's money, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? That was the whole thing, was to take
the power. Asset. It's a safe hard asset to run to in times of danger, right?
Right. That's so like, doesn't matter where you live, whether you live in Iran or Israel or the USA or, you know, whatever. Like if there is political tensions and political happenings and all sorts of stuff, like, and it does affect the currency and the fiat system. The whole idea of what, you know, Bitcoin and crypto is that it's the safe haven from that bullshit. So like, I would think, I mean, again, that's where we came from when it was a movement, right? Now we've got to remember that we're not a movement anymore. The cypherpunks aren't in control. You know what I mean? It's not the same 20 to 30, 50, 100 people that control the narrative anymore. It's the institutions, it's the governments, it's the nation states, it's sovereign wealth funds. It's these people who control what is happening now. And so, yeah, when these institutional guys get the fear, and they start selling because, oh my God, I got to sell because this is what we always do. And then we're going to sell our Bitcoin too. Like, that's, we've lost. Retail lost, institutions won. And that's just how it is. And that's why we see Bitcoin go down when it should be going up during these uncertain times, if you will. And I feel like historically, that's what it's done, right?
If you're going to look at the news, then like we've been on the brink of nuclear war for decades now, because it's always like max fear. I like nuclear war. There's no winners in that. So like, what do they have to gain? There's no point to that. So I don't think we're going to go there. I just think it's just the Middle East has been under fire for decades.
Well, it's definitely interesting times out there. Do we think World War III is an actual possibility? Do you think this will be de-escalated? Get those tensions down? Peace in the Middle East?
I don't think we're going to have peace in the Middle East, but like this could drag out for many years, like it has been. It's been, how many decades has been the Middle East been fighting, right?
Yeah, it hasn't, like tensions in the Middle East has been like thousands of years, like
Yeah, like we're humans. Like we're never gonna have fucking world peace. That doesn't exist. Because like humans all have the different, emotions and all that. We're flawed animals, so it's always gonna have some sort of adversity in the world. But I don't think we're gonna get to a point where it's nuclear war, because that's just the end. Right? And there's no coming back from that. So and then with what a nation does for nuclear, like if Iran was to send a nuke, or vice versa, Israel was to send a nuke to Iran, there's no end to that. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna keep going. It's gonna get worse, and nobody benefits, because then the economy is just done. Like you're not gonna win.
I'll tell you what. If Iran tries some bullshit, that would be the largest piece of glass in the world, right?
Oh yeah, I'm just like, the way I look at it is just like, where's the incentive? I look at incentive models, and it's like, like this, even like the Russia-Ukraine thing, like Russia, everyone's like worried that like Russia's gonna go attack NATO. I'm like, no, because there's nothing to win there. There's nothing to gain.
But do you think like level-headedness is that part of the strategy, or when it's?
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I think like for example, like Putin, he has a family, he has kids. Does he want to start a nuclear war and potentially end his entire generation? Like I don't know. I don't feel like I don't think we have this elite that has all these bunkers that want to reset the whole world. I don't think it's anything that extreme. I don't think the world is black and white. I think many things could happen, but I don't think nuclear war is gonna happen. I could be wrong. Like anything's possible, but I don't think we get to that point.
Chris says he's got a bunker.
By the way, I did not mean to scare the chat. I didn't mean to scare everybody by like bringing up the topic of nuclear war. I don't actually think that we're on the brink of nuclear war either. I'm with Mike on this one. We've been, if war was going to break out, probably it would have happened during the 80s when there was like high conflicts between like the U.S. and Russia. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm sorry. I apologize for all that, for bringing that up. Yeah, geopolitical warfare. That wasn't.
Too late, man. Everybody's afraid. Everybody is shaking in their boots right now. Just nervous. Teeth chattering, lips quivering. We got some nervous purposes. Just kidding.
God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, man. So it's good to be back with you guys. Let's scale back on some crypto for a second. I just want to let everyone know, I see my wife in the crowd. Today is Whitney and I's 10th wedding anniversary. 10 years ago today in Austin, Texas, we tied the knot on a rainy summer day, which never happens in Texas. It does not rain in June, but it did, solidifying that knot forever. That's what they say, right? If you get a knot wet, it holds better than if it's not wet. So I love you, honey. There you go. I'll do like one of those sentimental posts where I'll find pictures from, the last 10 years of us. And you got, actually, I would love to be able to find a picture from high school, because Whitney and I went to high school together. We did not date. We got together probably in our late 20s. We found each other on one of those Blackout Thursdays. You guys know what Blackout Wednesday? You know what that is? The night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
Everybody goes back home. Everybody, you go back home to your hometown, and everybody, you get together with all the high school folks, and everybody go out drinking and having a good time. And we happen to run into each other in downtown Naperville, Illinois, that's where we both came from at that point. And the rest is history, man. So I'll figure it out. Little shout out to my wife. Happy anniversary, baby.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough of that.
Enough
of that bullshit. Let's get back to crypto, boys.
I posted something fun up in the Funtron, the Jumbo Fund. It's a giveaway. It's Osmosis, my favorite dex in the whole wide world. Its birthday party just happened like yesterday or something. So there's a giveaway from Red Planet, and they're going to be giving away some Osmosis tokens. So I don't know if you fuck with Cosmos, and you probably want some extra Osmosis tokens, because it's like the ETH to Ethereum, right?
Talk to me really quick. I saw your post the other day where you said, I've not given up.
Oh, on Cosmos. Yeah, because like there's a lot of drama, dude.
Okay.
It's like I thought it was like not going to be a lot of drama, but there's like a lot of drama, because it's basically run by folks like you and me, right? Like it's not like a company. It's like there's founders and shit. Like it's project on top of project on top of project. And it's just like a bunch of kids, and some of these kids have like fucking opinions, and some of them get political, and then there's like other guys that are like don't want to be political, but then they get dragged into the shit, and they're like, I just want to be able to like hustle my NFTs without having to like worry about some like rampant like political maniac coming after me because of my views. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that. Like, why should we be at each other's throats when we all love the same token and ecosystem anyway?
Interesting. I love that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, you got to.
So I was just trying to, low key make some peace is what I was trying to do there.
So you need peace in the Middle East, and then peace in the ecosystem, the Cosmos ecosystem.
In the Cosmos ecosystem, yeah. But in the meantime, there's the Red Planet just trying to do some good things just by giving stuff away. Like they're like trying to give away money and giving away Osmo tokens, giving away NFTs that mine Bitcoin and shit. So I've just been rolling with those guys because they like make their own rules and they don't really fuck with anybody else, right? Nobody really has any bad feelings towards them. So
I think it all goes into what we were talking about a little bit ago with sentiment, where we are. There's a lot of people who let's think about this realistically, right? A lot of people are not, Bitcoin maximalists, they got a bad rap, and a lot of people said, all right, fuck it, I'm not going to do that. Or people just more interested and they have an open mind. So they got into altcoins, and we all know what happens. Unless you're a Bitcoin maximalist or you have a shitload of Bitcoin, we all got wrecked. And, so that's kind of what we're dealing with, is that everybody's unhappy. Everybody is envious of the people who have a lot of Bitcoin. Everybody is upset that their favorite altcoins and their, probably NFTs are way down. I mean, I'm not, I know that across the board, that is not the truth. But if you just look at a lot of the blue chips where people put a lot of money into like a Bored Ape or a Mutant, or even fuck the Pudgy Penguins, man. When they launched that coin, those things got up to like 20 ETH or whatever, maybe even a little bit higher than that. And I think it was very clear that there was a top signal when Steve Aoki bought one for like 50 ETH or whatever he bought it for. That should have been the time, because they never were higher than that. And you just man, at some point this is going to make a turnaround. Go ahead, Ash.
It's an accidental unmute. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. You fat fingered the mute button.
Yeah, I was speaking just to speak of giveaways, because the most prominent question of every bull run is win Lambo. And, you know, Dreams is giving away a Lambo, top 30 players in their top bonanza game by volume. The top 10 in the 30 days will be entered to win an actual Lamborghini, which is fucking crazy. So for all you degens out there that like gambling, that's you know, Cockpot Bonanza is where to go if you like playing some slots. I was actually playing it in Vegas. I was in my room playing it in Vegas.
Hell yeah. Okay, so this is actually a really good point, and this is something that Hash was talking about earlier, and it was a point that I didn't get to, but I wanted to make. And you were talking about Hash, you know, like the gambling and the degen nature, and I feel like what we've seen is everybody's gotten themselves sufficiently wrecked. Like I said before, that is actually a t-shirt that I got from Ben Cowan's party over in Vegas. It says sufficiently wrecked, and I believe that is appropriate. But if you look at like the ecosystem in the industry, man, everybody is talking about gambling. Everybody is talking about gambling. It is not speculation on crypto anymore. It's fucking gambling. Clearly on sports, on all sorts of things. Do you think that's playing a role in kind of the sentiment? Because people are trying, they see, you know, the posts, the screenshots, the P&Ls of, oh, this guy hit a 3-leg parlay and made, you know, 500 Solana. It's like, I got to try to do that. And then, you know, people just get wrecked. I'm not doing any gambling, by the way. So that's not, I don't sports gamble. That's not my thing, but I have seen so much of it. Do you think that's contributing? You guys think that, Hash, I'll go to you first on that. Do you think that's contributing to the sentiment, to the down action, all that shit?
I think the opposite, actually. I think the down action contributed to people going towards gambling. This happened kind of last cycle too, when MetaWin became like the big thing, right? And all those fucking influencers were all of a sudden, money dried up. Like the people who, I'm just going to pick on Alpha Co because I love you, Alpha, sorry, but fuck you. The people who go and listen to Alpha Co spaces and participate as speakers in those spaces, they don't have the same amount of people showing up every day to buy trench coins, you know, back to the gambling. And so you're not getting the money from Bybit from your referral links anymore. So like, how are we going to make money? Oh, all of a sudden this, you know, sponsorship thing that came across my desk 2 years ago, I'd have been like, I'm never promoting gambling. Well, now I kind of need the 100 grand and they're willing to pay it. And I think that's what happened. And that's also why the conversation has become so popular, because a lot of people have like literally just become the villain that they always hated.
That's really interesting.
And they're like, LeBron does it, bro. You're not fucking LeBron, okay? I don't give Ansem. You're not LeBron, and LeBron probably also shouldn't be promoting gambling. And the whataboutism is super weird. And I think there's people on my camp that are like, you know, listen, I don't care. I don't care. Get your bag. Like it, but don't virtue signal for 5 years about how like, oh, I'm going to do it different when I get to the top. And then you promote gambling websites to kids. And again, it's fine. Just don't lie about it. Just be like, yeah, like I'm getting that bag. And I think some, again, influencer calls, whatever they might be, but it's the only thing worse than gambling money from like we've hit an all-time bottom is porn money. So like when you see Thread Guy dropping OnlyFans, that's a bottom signal for influencers.
I'm sure that some of these guys in the background have. Didn't somebody I actually saw a post from some influencer the other day. They got their OnlyFans shut down because they were talking crypto.
That seems super strange, but it's got to be some like internal policy for OnlyFans that you're not allowed to do financial stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I would agree. Now, actually, I don't know, because like Chris Cyborg does it OnlyFans, but she does it not, and she's not. like she doesn't do it as like a creator like that. Like I think that she does it as like actually like to engage with her fans. And I know that's opposite of what most people do there, but you can do like educational content if I'm not mistaken. I have absolutely no idea. I've never once logged in, to be fully transparent with you guys. And I'm not saying
me neither, but from what I understand, you're correct. It's you don't have to get naked on OnlyFans. It's supposed to be more broad than that, but obviously 80% of the users and 80% of the content creators do that stuff, and so that's the image that it has, right? But
Yeah, that's kind of what it
I
started out as. It started out as like
It was for
an
foodies.
extension to your community.
Yeah, didn't Twitch like make, because like Twitch was for gamers, and then I feel like, you know, somebody had said like the ethos of Twitch is like totally changed, and now you got more people getting naked on Twitch than in previous stuff. And again, I'm not a Twitch guy, so I don't know.
We moved past that era, and now we're in the era of political commentators. If I had to, you know, commentary has become like just chatting, like Asmongold, for example. It's not like he doesn't play video games. It's not like he's not a gamer, but like I think he's one of the largest Twitch content creators right now, and it's like mostly commentary stuff.
Okay.
I don't know, that Twitch and Kick, like that's also in a weird place right now. It's going to be interesting how that consolidates over time, because like there's just a lot of players right now, right? There's like the Kick and the YouTube and Twitch, and then a bunch of
I
other.
think we're on the
ones.
precipice of like a blockbuster moment where like I think like Twitch is kind of dying off, and you have all these other platforms, and I think one of them is going to win and take the reins from Twitch, because I think just Twitch is just dead. The ecosystem swap.
I feel like we are so due for some kind of shakeup in the social media world. Now I get, you know, X coming out with X payments, and you can, you know, invest and do all that kind of shit like that. That's great and all. That's just an enhancement to this current platform. But what's the next thing? Like so far, every SocialFi platform has just been a complete fucking dud. I know the arena is trying to make a comeback. I don't know if they will or if they can or whatever, but what is going to be next? I mean, I feel like it has to be even better. So like until we get totally augmented reality into social media, or we start talking about the metaverse again, like what would be different? What's more exciting? You know, well, we've got videos, we've got the ability to chat, we can do all this shit already. What's the next step? Because we need a disruptor.
Dude, I'll tell you, the arena, like I've been streaming on the arena, and you know, I'll stream on Twitch and YouTube and everything, but arena, I'm getting real growth, real engagement on the arena. So I'm not saying it's coming back. And I know some people have been making money off it. I know, you know, Mikkel, I've been doing my podcast with her, and she's making some money on it. But like, you know, it shows hope. Like there's a lot of the top meme coins that are coming out right now have been arena launches.
So that's interesting. Now, so my experience with and now again, this was back in the previous, and there was some other things that had happened to it. But even before like the team changeover and all that stuff had happened originally, my experience with the arena was it was really good at the beginning. Really, really good. I mean, I cleaned up on some AVAX when I first launched my arena page in the beginning. But as time goes on, the users wean out, the money's not as good. And then all of a sudden, literally it just turned into people fucking begging for AVAX. And it's like, nah, I'm not going to waste my time here on this platform with just a bunch of street beggars. Like, that's terrible. Like, just posting a picture, like, not even a good picture, not even anything. It's just a picture, like some stupid words, and says, tip me. It's like, no, like provide some fucking content or some quality that would, you know, require some kind of engagement. Don't just expect a tip because you're posting some dog shit.
Granted, and I a lot of the content on there that I do watch is not the greatest, but I think that's just, you know, you're starting at the bottom, and I think, like, you know, if you go on there and you want to stream some quality stuff, like, you know, the world's your oyster kind of thing, right? Like, because there is, you know, a lot of people that are just going on there with no camera, for example. A lot of people are just gaming. There's a lot of gamers on there because it's Avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the quality's starting to get better. I started to notice some better shows, like Doug Hype lets a stream on there too. So like some people are coming out with some better quality stuff. But yeah, I totally agree with you. There's a lot of shit on there. And people just trying to be on there because they think they're going to get airdropped a bunch of fucking tokens or whatever.
I'm telling you, man, it got bad. Shout out to Doug. Doug is the one who got me in originally, and that's why it was just one of the best intros to that. That was my first SocialFi too, because I did not do what was the first one that came out? FriendTech, right? I did not participate in FriendTech, and then there was one other one that came out before the arena originally, and I saw it, and that was like, okay, like I'll give this one a try. And Doug, we did a like a host watch party and came in, and he had a pretty good community at that point, so it was a good experience originally. I will tell you that. But then, you know, again, as much like every other Web3 game, the dinosaur tail, right? When the dinosaur tail starts to form, get the fuck out of the way. Like, run, because there's nothing to stick around for once that happens. And that sounds terrible, but I mean, beggars.
I think that actually is the ethos of why we are where we are, right? Like, what's the standard tweet? People used to have conviction, and now we just like track wallets, you know, which is, like, again, very specific to the trenches, but I think the trenches was a pretty big meta for a long time. The reason you don't see Pepe's is because people don't believe in anything anymore. Like, and again, not to throw him around under the bus here, but when he turned that whole, believe in something into a marketing campaign, it lost everything because it just became a way to sell things to people. So now you're just not seeing conviction. And that's the same thing with, like, the reason YouTube succeeded wasn't because of the monetary structure for its creators or because they were doing it for an airdrop. They wanted to make fucking content, and that was the best place to do it at the time. And it was a passion. So I don't think any of the SocialFi apps or competitors to Twitch are going to prosper in a crypto sense if they make their whole incentive structure based on, we're the hype thing right now, come stream with us, we'll pay you, because, like, next week they're not going to be that thing. And the creators that are driving the traffic are going to go somewhere else to get those airdrops to make that content, because they're not in love with making content for crypto. They're in love with getting paid in airdrops. Or maybe followers. Like, again, I don't know, I'm a little old, I'm a boomer, so, like, I don't understand the rush of, like, having 100,000 followers. It doesn't appeal to me. Mm-hmm. But I know it does to some people. So, like, having, the largest stream on Kick or whatever, like, some people, like, hang their hat, not power rankings, but remember, like, what was it? Used to rank, like, influencers. Mm-hmm. God, I forget the name of the platform. And it was like, oh my God, I was number
Social
one.
Blade?
No, specifically for crypto.
Okay.
It wasn't NFT power rankings, but it was something like that. And people would, specifically the lizard man, Alex, would be like, I'm the number one social. Like, people really love that. And so whatever the new thing is, people will gravitate towards because it's new users to get onto their brand. But also, again, back to the gambling, where the money is, the creators are going to go. That's just how their incentives have worked for the last while. And if they can't get allocation from tokens, then they're going to get money from streaming sites. But as soon as there's a new streaming site that's offering them something better to go stream, they're going to go there. So I think that you really need the incentive to change from where do you go to make money to where do you go to do the thing that you love.
Do you think that I love this, by the way, and when you analyze it like that, do you think it has to do with the maturity of the market and the people in it? Like, you think like this stage in my life, right? Yeah. Like, I'm in my 40s. I have more of a business mindset. Like, I'm a long-term kind of guy. I would think that there is, some kind of reward in the consistency and all that stuff, right? And so I have a different mentality and mindset than, say, the 20-something-year-olds that are here that, again, have worse ADD than any of us. They've participated in this kind of fast-paced moving life to where they've got to have something now, and it's different and it's always changing, all that stuff. Do you think it's the maturity of the players in the market that contribute to the ADD of the market? Doom's throwing up some hundreds. Let's see what you think. What's up, dog?
Yeah. What's up, Doom?
I kind of agree with that a little bit. Like, I don't have too much to say on it, but, like, all right, you guys obviously know I'm in the military, so we always get a lot of young people in all the time, right? And so, like, when we have, like, appointments on base and stuff like that, like, there's 10,000 people on my base, right? There's a lot of young people. Like, I remember I was doing something last week at work, and I remember somebody talking about crypto, and not anything, like, detailed about crypto. They were just having, like, an ADD moment. But like when they were talking about it, they were talking about like just joking around, like rugging crypto, like you know that in aspect like that. I feel like that's a big thing with like young kids is like the turn on of like, oh yeah, man, let's we'll make this coin and then we rug it, like shit like that. But I think the age definitely has something to do with what's going on. I believe that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of young people in the market, and it's to them, like listening to those people, like I listen to their conversation, they're fucking nerds. You know what I mean? So I know they're intelligent. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like it's the whole like idea of like, oh yeah, crypto, oh yeah, dude, let's just make some fucking project, let's rug it, dude, fuck it, I'm like, all right, and then on to the next thing, you know what I mean? Like on to like fucking like World of Warcraft or some dumb shit. But I really think the maturity level does have something to do with it, depending on your age demographic.
Hell yeah! No, I when you start to think about the psychology of all this stuff, like we've always, and I've been saying that for I think a lot of people have said that for quite some time now, is that you really have to look at the demographic of this industry on a retail level, right? And I think once retail is kind of maxed out to we're not going to be as many big time holders on the retail level as now that you've got the institutions, the nation, sovereign wealth funds, all that stuff. And so the demographic is going to eventually change to where it's not all a bunch of young kids and doing stuff in the trenches, if you will. That goes back to the whole idea of the speculation versus utility. And when that entire motivator changes for this crypto ecosystem, and I feel like that's got to be at some point, maybe in the next 12 to 18 months, right? I'm under the impression that we're going to see a lot of things change in a very big way, comfortable and uncomfortable, over the next 12 months. It's going to be interesting. It's time for things to grow up. It's much like when we talk about NFTs, right? Earlier NFTs and the whole idea of these generative trait collections and what they are. It's cool. PFPs. Let's join the club. This is not my dad's country club. This is where me and the boys get together and the girls get together and we talk about, all this stuff. But, again, like a lot of that is going to start fading away once utility in NFTs really takes the show. And there'll always be people that need a PFP. So don't get me wrong. Your PFP generative trait collections are not going anywhere, but it's time for, just got a call there, but it's time for the ecosystem itself to start growing up, right? So the utility of what NFTs are go on to mature. And I think crypto will go on to do that same thing. And from there, the youngsters, the whippersnappers, obviously they will mature as time goes on, and their whole investment strategy will mature as time goes on, and the entire demographic of the investor makeup will get better as time goes on. But right now, it's just when you think about the people that are here, you think about I built a pitch deck over this week for my media company, and so if anybody wants to take a look at it and give me some feedback, please by all means let me know. I would absolutely love that. But one of the things that I say in there, and I had gotten some pushback from someone that was looking at it for me, was just like, I work with KOLs, not clowns. And someone's like, you can't call people clowns, but like, yeah, you can, because there are clowns in this industry and there are people who don't know shit about shit. And somehow, whether they bought an account or they got lucky, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, they have this voice. And trust me, you guys know that my idea of this show is everybody's opinion matters. Everybody's got a voice and it does matter. But when you actually take a look at it, there are some people who have an opinion and they have a platform and their opinion is dog shit. And if they just left this space, we'd be better off for it, kind of thing, right? But that's, anyway, that's where we are. Hash, go ahead, my guy.
Oh my gosh, what's the imminent timeline of this space?
Of this particular show?
10:05. Yeah, this one.
I didn't realize it was 10:05, so we can kind of wrap this up and then take some pizza orders, or we can keep rolling. I mean, shit,
if you can keep rolling, I mean, I think we're having an interesting discussion.
Great.
So I'd love that, but I didn't want to take it like in another direction or anything. If we're closing up,
no, we're good. We're good. This is my life now, guys. This is what we do. I'm gonna go back to hosting shows and building my media company. I needed a little time to kind of get that squared away because out of necessity, it's what I had to do. But no, like let's get back to this on a very consistent basis. It's, you know, again, next week I'm in New York all week, and I'm going to try to maximize my time there and really hit the ground running and try to get some business for the media company. But when I get back, it's time to get back. I've missed you guys far too much. I've missed this show. I miss doing this. Is what I fucking love, right? You know, we talked about earlier, you know, like people are stuck doing things that they don't love or things that aren't their passion or whatever. I mean, being here, hosting shows, a microphone in front of my face is the absolute ultimate passion of mine. Just, you know, out of necessity, sometimes we got to, you know, do some other things to make it happen. But I got to get back to this. Like, I've just missed this far too much. So
yeah, well, I do look for the show every day at 9 a.m. and like I'm not even on Twitter anymore really, but every day I like open my phone, I'm like, yo, is there a fucking show today? Pardon my language. Back to the maturity of the ecosystem and all those things. Yes, I think that's a huge impact. You got, for whatever reasons, right? Like just the time that crypto boomed, and you know, we had the fucking COVID, and everybody was like looking to change to, like, it was a very interesting time for the market to mature. And so I do think that there is like a young people, I don't want to call it a problem, but it's always going to be there because those people will get older and they will mature. And next cycle or 2 cycles from now, they're going to have different lives than they do now, and they're going to have different priorities. But young people will replace them. It's like fashion, right? It's like teenagers today decide fashion, and then they'll become 25, and then the new teenagers will decide fashion. I think that will continue to happen. But it really is too bad. And this has been something that I've talked about for years now. Like, you love doing this, and it comes through. But there's no market for that right now. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
and you, you know, without getting into details, a very well-connected young fella, even then, putting out educational, interesting, thought-provoking discussions is not what people are interested in tuning into. They want to tune into what's the next coin, and before it was coins, what's the next NFT, and before it was that, what's the next altcoin. They want the carrot.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they lose every time, they're showing up here to get money, not to do something they love. And you're never going to be able to sustain that long term, especially if you don't make money. And even if you do make money, and you're seeing this happen a lot with this, not the class of 2025 influencer, but like maybe 23, 24,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them are about to go through some real fuck times in their lives because they either lost all the money they made, or they didn't pay their taxes, or they are living a lifestyle that means they fly around the world 15, 20 times a year, and they lost their sponsors because Ponky is no longer paying money. And so now, do you take a gambling fit? Like, they're in a very interesting spot. And I think a lot of them are going to have some really tough mental times, not necessarily financial.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see, I think, a rotation again of influencers. And then those people are going to come back mature and want to like teach people how to like not fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, that's just currently not the content people are tuning into.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad you said that, man. And I feel that that's what I'm living, right? But and even so, again, at 43 years old, it's like, yeah, I love to gamble like just as much as you guys do. I love the high octane stuff. I love that so much. But at the end of the day, like, I realize, one, that's first off, like, that's fun in doses. That is not, that's not a consistent way to go. And so that's why, again, several months ago, or if not a year and some change ago, you know, I made a cognizant choice to really focus on some different aspects in this industry. And so, you know, the RWA stuff of what I do, like, I have built some amazing relationships, within the team of Chainlink, within obviously the team of Ondo, as you guys know, and some others. And so to me, that was like, okay, instead of trying to get in with the Ansems and getting into the cabal, and yeah, I've done a little bit of, hey, you know, out of necessity, push a coin here or talk about this here, this there. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people with platforms have had to do that, but really making this effort to like clean it up and grow it up. And I'm going to get a fucking sport coat before I go to New York. Right? Like, I got to change the perception and what I'm doing, because look, I will always wear a t-shirt to a conference. I'll wear my branded gear. I'll do that stuff. But now there are times where I am going to need to, you know, to play at that next level up for what I'm trying to accomplish. And that's we go back to the maturity of all of this. This is what so 2017 was my first entry into crypto. So this would be my third or fourth cycle, whatever, third cycle. My math is off right now. So like, yeah, I feel like it does take a little bit of exposure. It's again, you go back to some of these stupid cliche sayings. It's not timing the market, it's the time in the market. And that also, you get a little bit of road tested, you get a little battle scars, you get a little bit jaded, and you get a little bit of understanding. It's like, okay, while I understand there is some quick money to be made, and it's hard and it's fast and it's fun, but it is not sustainable. Finding that way to, as a creator, as a man, as a business entrepreneur, is finding that way to mature and to take things up to that next level. So that was a tangent. I don't even know if that was even applicable to what you were saying there, Hash. But I'm with you guys.
Oh, it was. I loved it.
Thank you.
So going through the conferences and watching JChains work, like if you haven't seen him work in person, it's really inspiring.
I appreciate that.
Dude, my normie friend Aiden was like, literally, like, he was like, wow, this guy is like fantastic. And he was talking about you, Jay. He was like, that was like inspiring as shit. And I was like, well, what do you think he's up here fucking doing? He's inspiring people. This is what he does. This is his fucking job. You know what I mean? But he was like, he had never seen Jay work in person before. And like, he'd never even been to a fucking Web3 conference. So like, he didn't even know what he was missing, right? But once he saw you talking about community and shit, you struck a chord hard with that kid, man. And he's like, now he's working with the Sneaky Productions crew. He's like fully on board and into Web3 now.
I love it. That's
like after that, he's working.
I love to hear
that. Yeah, man,
he's
working with an NFT project right now on Cosmos. It's fucking huge. He's like building out a website for them in Web 2, but it's like a database. Like he's built it all up in Linux, and it's like you can like look up any NFT number, and then it'll pull up your picture and your lore and all the statistics and stuff. It's fucking pretty cool, man.
Hell yeah. Hey, speaking of NFTs, that's one of the things that we got in the title today. What's that?
I was just saying that's all because of you, because of your inspirational fucking motivational speaker ism.
Oh,
man. Brought that guy to his senses, man. I've been poking that kid for like fucking 4 years to get into Web3. I'm like, you are a programmer, you're a coder, you're a builder, you're a developer. You're one of the smartest kids in the room. You need to get into fucking Web3. That's where everyone is building right now, is on the blockchain. You're wasting your fucking time in this Web2 bullshit, man. And he's like, nah, man, everyone needs a website. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And then now it's like, you know, he's building up, like he's helping to develop a fucking NFT project that's based out of like Switzerland or some shit. Nice. Like it's fucking dope.
I love that, man.
Man.
That's a great story.
Thank you for helping me. Yeah.
If that to me is like, if that's all I can do is help some people and bring them into this space, or listen, that is one of the, like, it makes my heart beat in a different way. That makes me feel good. It makes us feel good as a community. And that's the whole idea of what I do. A lot of big things are in the works as far as all of that stuff goes. I can't say anything about that, but in the long term, I think we're aligning with the right people. It's been a challenging, I would say a very challenging year so far for me. But at the end of the day, when you got your back up against the wall, you most of the time do some of your better work. And you know, you put yourself out there in different situations, and you know, things are coming back in different ways that, you know, one, you would expect being consistent, and two, by putting yourself out there. But it's surprising me how well some of these conversations that I'm having are going. Also, you know, I've had a couple conversations with several people about doing some NFT projects, tying them to some RWAs and some real life businesses and everything. So that is something that I've been working on as well in the background, that I think there's some people in this room that could really help and work, some magic and stuff that they do to facilitate some other aspects in that realm. And so whether it's, you know, through NFTs, art, music, gaming, all that stuff, those are all things that my media company is going to be rolling out this year too. So if anybody's looking to participate in that kind of stuff, man, just I'll keep you posted. And I'm going to start another like couple shows and stuff in the next couple of weeks, man. It's just time. It's just time to really get things moving and to build this brand. And I made that joke in the beginning of the show. when Hash had said, we don't have our influencer of this cycle yet, that has not happened. I will say that while I am okay that it is not actually going to be me, it is my fucking year. It is my fucking time. Y'all are my tribe, and we are the rising tide floats all boats. And so as my year shifts and as things develop, please be mindful that anybody that wants to participate in anything that I've got going on, y'all are the team. You are the team. All you got to do is just be vocal and say, I want to be on the team when the time's right. Let's go for it.
I mean, I want to say hi to Sonic, I guess.
Yeah, Sonic. I saw that. I saw Sonic come in, and I got, intrigued. What's up, Sonic? Can't come up here and not talk, Sonic. All right.
Can't win them all. Swing and miss.
Man, I was in space the other day.
Bed3 is hilarious, by the way. Great tag in your profile, Sonic. Sorry, Kerry.
It's okay. I was just gonna say I was in some weird space the other day, and they were like so intense about like engagement. If you got invited up to the stage to speak and you didn't speak, they would fucking lose it on you. They're like, "Yo, bro, you didn't come up here to speak. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Like, get up, open your mouth and say some words. Are you fucking retarded?" Like, it was like intense, man. I was almost like
that
borderline put off.
That goes back to even, like earlier, the part of the conversation with the maturity level of all this stuff and what people like. I couldn't do that. Like I've come into those shows where you're sitting in the crowd and like the host and the stage are like ripping on people, and it's just like, man, I can't do that. That's not something I would ever want to be a part of. That's not a show that I would ever want to host or even sit and listen to. But why people just eat that shit up? I don't get it. And to each their own, whatever. Everybody's got their own flavors. I get it, but like that is, if I'm choosing,
I literally had nothing else to listen to. I was looking for a JChains space, and I'm like, fuck, there's nothing to listen to.
I get it. Well, that's why we got to come back. We're coming back. We are coming back. All right. Well, guys,
it's coming back. You want to do that thing?
What's that?
You want to do that thing? Quickly before you do that thing,
I'm
currently, I'm not used to this. So I don't know how frequent it is, but I'm seeing Pingu from across the pond. I don't know how familiar you are. But, like, I came up with Pingu. Like, I remember him like talking in space about like, yeah, like I think I want to do this like influencer thing, and he's done it. And I've like watched the progression, and now I'm watching him get paid by ToshiBet to do a live stream on Twitter while he gambles in front of his fans. So like, I think that really sums up where we are. It's our CS:GO moment. You remember the CS:GO situation when all those creators got, in a little bit of trouble for selling skins? I feel like that's just where we're at right now. And that's why gambling is like the thing. Casinos have money and they're willing to give it to you. And we're just at a place right now where people are taking it.
Hey, I'm at the point where I'm getting ready to sell some skins. So sell my skin. You get it. OnlyFans. Only feats. We had talked about this before. What was it? Only nudes? And it was just me eating like ASMR eating noodles, right? Only nudes. I know that we've talked about this in the past.
Slurping them up.
Slurping up nudes. You get a little bit of sauce. All you need is a little bit of sauce. It was funny. We do the other night. We're gonna do our pizza order in just a second here. But with that, never mind. It's time. Hey, Mama Mia, Papa Pia, time to order that pizzeria. If you are in the speaker panel, get ready to order your pizza. And if you are down listening, you're like, shit, I want pizza. Get on up here because it is time. Sonic, this is your opportunity to speak. I don't know if Sonic the Hedgehog eats pizza, but if you do, it's time to order one. Carrie. All right. Sonic is not ordering Carrie. What you
double hedgehog, that's it. I'm ordering a double hedgehog pizza.
Double hedgehog.
With fucking extra hedgehog.
Yeah, you know who's coming to my pizza party? Tails and Knuckles. Sonic's not invited anymore. We're bringing Tails and Knuckles only. All right. Oh, shit. Neil came up here. My guy, Neil. What's up, brother? What kind of pizza do you want?
What up? What up? Good to hear from y'all. Man, give me that double pepperoni, baby. Stuff that crust.
You know it. You know, it is on the way, sir. Appreciate you being here. Good to hear from you. Patch, my dude. What kind of pizza you want?
You know, I have to go with the classic mustard pizza, all mustard,
All right.
no toppings.
No pickles?
Thank you so much. No, God, no.
All right. Well, some of these guys in our chat group have been posting some hideous pizzas and vile pickles and white bread. No, thank you. That's not pizza. That's trash. Mike, the modern Canadian. What kind of pizza can I get for you?
Yo, we're gonna go for a classic Canadian with pepperoni, bacon, and mushroom.
Okay, so you want that pea meal bacon or you want that American bacon?
I'm gonna go for some meal.
Okay, and then are you doing on the pepperoni? Are you doing your pepperoni Windsor style or are you doing it Italian style?
Always Windsor.
If you guys don't know what Windsor style pepperoni is, I feel bad for you because you are not cultured enough to understand delicious pizza. Doom, my guy. What kind of pizza can I get for you?
Dude, I'm going with that plain Jane cheese pizza.
Ooh, sometimes you can't go wrong with a cheese, a slice of cheese. I appreciate that. For me, I am having 10th anniversary pizza tonight, which is nothing different than our typical pepperoni, garlic, maybe some banana peppers, probably some arugula, definitely some balsamic glaze. Pinkies out, baby. I'll eat that pizza bougie any day, and I hope you guys would with me as well. So, all right, that's it. I saw Sonic do an emoji. I saw a thumb up from Sonic. So, Sonic, did you want to get a pizza order in or no?
Yeah, can I get the barbecue chicken?
Yes. Barbecue chicken pizza for Sonic. We got it in. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I appreciate you. There's a ton of people watching over on X today. So if you guys, anybody that is still there watching, make sure you hit that heart. It's a heart. I was going to say smash the like, but it's not YouTube. Hit the heart. If you are still in the space, guys, make sure you follow somebody else that is here. That's the community nature. That's the good way to go. I appreciate all of you. Every single one of you that tuned in on the replay or live means the world to me. Good to be back. My cup is full today. Back to doing shows. It's my anniversary. It's Friday. It's pizza day. Holy shit, man. The day can't get better for me. I hope that you guys crush your weekend. Remember, it's been a long time since I've said this. The 1% better. That's kind of why I had to stop the shows, because I had to really focus on making myself better and doing this. And so I feel like I've accomplished my goal. This has been great to be back today. So guys, remember, do what you can do to improve yourself. And if it's not a full 1%, or if it's more than 1%, that's all right too. But thank you for being here. I will be in New York City all week next week, so I'll try to do some stuff here and there. And if you are there, make sure you tap in. Let's connect and collab. And then don't forget, when I'm back from New York, we're gonna hit the ground running. We're gonna do this thing full steam. We've got media to do. We've got NFTs to launch, businesses to launch. So get ready, baby. It is time. It's time.